first pitch.
You son of a liar.
Rule to swing. Fly to left.
Oh, you take it.
2 up, 2 down.
You take it. No, you take it. Yo, you take it. No, you take
Good
it.
fundamentals from the infielder as he ranged back on that play. You can lose track of where you are and start worrying that you're going to collide. If you like your bathroom with a splash of attitude, come on down to Bad Boy Bidets. They'll show you how you can take your porcelain throne from sad to rad.
Bad Boy
Sponsors of this
Bidets.
podcast. This pitch misses, and now 3-0. On the ground to the left, and it stays fair. She makes the turn and digs for second base. And into second.
Getting aggressive.
One
Let's
way.
go.
That's a double. I love that patient approach from her to work a favorable.
So
count.
I actually used the
Sometimes you
power.
Now a fly ball to right center.
Damn it. I got all of it,
Gets
and
there.
just a little short. Got to get my push-ups in a little bit more here.
Minor league outfield. Oh, great stop. Slings to second. And 2.
No, I was there. You lying son of a... Let's go with the good old knuckleball.
Got it. Only 1 out remaining.
I actually threw the knuckleball
And
there
this
just
is
to
the
be a
kind
piece of
work the
shit, right?
manager was
So
hoping for, calling her out. Hard ground ball, base hit. Coming around third. Comes across to score.
how is that off?
Campos swings through it for strike 1. Swings through the fastball up in the zone.
Slider. Got him.
Swing and a miss.
AEW on Revolution Weekend in Vancouver.
A laser
That'll
to the
do.
outfield.
Go.
Going back pretty deep. Makes the catch.
Son of
Inning
a-
over. 1 hit in the inning. A
hell is
solo
that?
home run. Heart
A
of the order,
perfect
3, 4,
that
5
I hit
coming
the
up as
warning
we approach the
track.
bottom of the 6th.
Damn it.
Tied 1-1.
And that... It's like, we got you. We know you're incompetent, but we got you. We're not like Matt Chapman here, where he yells at you and says, catch the fucking ball.
And that's
That'll
ripped to
do.
the right. And that's a fair ball. Coming to
Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight. It is
Super Keith.
Super Kick! Let go! Let go! Third! Super Kick Party! Yeah, pay the money for that. Yes! This life is going great! Let's go!
She's healthy.
Let's go!
Is she healthy?
Yeah!
Apparently, she's back.
Hey, yo, and away we go. And Nats, you will not get banned for telling me the collision's up in 5 minutes. You just tell me to get my button gear and get on the show here. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to the AEW Collision Sidecast here on the Mike the Ref Twitch channel. Stream number 2 today. If you're watching the pre-stream here, the starting soon screen, you got a few of the highlights of the MLB stream we did earlier this afternoon here, as Michelle Teref is working her way up and possibly could be moving up to AA, or from AA to AAA, maybe next week or next stream that we do MLB The Show. But it's going to be exciting to see the fact that we're going to have a chance to move up as much as we are. But hope everybody's doing well tonight. And a special Thursday night collision. We have a wrestling-related reason and a non-wrestling related reason for this tonight. The non-wrestling related reason, and Tony Khan put it out there, and good on him for doing the cover-up on this. It is it's the NCAA Final Four, and Illinois is actually in the Final Four, so he's going to be watching that game. So he wants to watch that, and it's on his channel. TNT is one of the new hosts of the Final Four. We had the same problem last year. Then the non-wrestling related one, of course, we have NXT Stand and Deliver, essentially NXT's version of WrestleMania. That will be coming up this Saturday as well, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern from St. Louis. I'll tell you right now, Kendall Gray, Lola Vice, JC J might be the only reason I might watch a bit of that. As far as I'm concerned, JC's probably getting a call up. At least I hope she is. And I think Lola's in there so that JC doesn't have to get pinned for Kendall to win the title, because I'm pretty sure that's where they're going to go with that. But either way, I'll be honest, I haven't checked a lot of the card. I haven't checked a lot of the WrestleMania card. The one thing, I will say this right now with all confidence, I will not have a wrestler breaking down my door in the middle of stream, throwing me into my setup, and setting up a WrestleMania match with me. It would be absolutely insane if that was the case, but if you haven't seen it earlier today, I Show Speed had a visit from LA Knight, who basically gave him the 1-4 and sent him into a bit of a tizzy there. So, but yeah, tonight, Collision. We got a very interesting card, including the 8-man Tornado Tag match, which, based on the poster, is going to main event with Jet Speed teaming up with the Conglomeration. God damn it. Sorry, I had it lined up here that I saw what the card was right now, but there we go. Versus Claudio and Wheeler and David Finlay in the Disco Inferno in an 8-man tornado tag. Yes, Clark Connors, a.k.a. Disco Inferno. That's what I've been calling him around here. Interesting match to come up tonight as well. John Moxley taking on Anthony Bowens. Now, Anthony Bowens is trying to get in with Hook. So we got a weird dichotomy going on here. And I'll admit, it's a lot easier to get through this with AEW than it is with WWE right now or any other promotion. Moxley, we're trying to figure out this Moxley Ospreay thing. Like, Ospreay's trying to be a face and Moxley's a heel. But in this match coming up tonight, we're basically getting Bowens, who wants to be a heel but maybe a face, taking on Moxley, who's a heel but should be in a face position. You just get things. I don't know. Let's see here. There it is. Let's just all that stuff. We're also getting Andrade and Mark Davis versus the Rascals. That's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to see, are we going to get an Andrade face turn here? Like, it looks like we might actually be getting one at the pay-per-view. If you watched last night and you watched the last couple collisions where Andrade was focused on winning the world title, and Callis is basically taking the money and railroading Andrade for different areas. And it makes me wonder if Kazuchika Okada is being part of that, sort of railroading everybody else to make sure they don't get the major titles that they want. So it very, very well could be interesting there. We're also going to get Juice Robinson and Tommaso Ciampa. Anytime you get Ciampa on my screen, you could consider that a win. You could definitely consider that a win. You could definitely consider that something that we'd want to see here. And Juice Robinson he's avenging the loss that happened to Ace Austin last week on Collision. There was a bit of a beatdown until Juice got in the ring and you had Tommaso take off, which typical coward things to do, which makes a lot of sense. We're also going to see FTR in action, which also means we're going to see Christian Cope, which is going to blow the roof off of that place in Winnipeg. I'm pretty much guessing at this point that's what's going to happen there. And then the Divine Dominion in action, which is always a win for me. Having the tag champs there, and this might be where we set up the Brawling Birds versus the Divine Dominion for the pay-per-view, but also after Jamie Hayter gets the pin in the six-person match yesterday, could they be working towards Jamie Hayter, Tekla? That's the original feud, right? That's the original feud that Tekla had coming in. Oh, sorry, I guess it was Queen Amanada was the actual original feud there. But we're just probably about 15 seconds away here. I'll try and throw the ads in between matches. I'm still getting used to throwing up the ads right before the show. For those that don't know, I try to preload a bunch of commercials wherever I can so that we can move things together here and try to watch this commercial free on our end. For those on YouTube, they don't have to worry about it. I don't have enough subs yet to value that. But by the way, if you are watching on YouTube, please hit the like, hit the subscribe if you can. It's free. Helps us out a lot here. And for those watching over on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow button if you haven't already. But more importantly than anything else, thank you for being here. I truly do appreciate each and every one. I know this is a bit of an irregular night for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people didn't expect this to happen, right? Because even people that were in our stream last night, they just literally said they didn't know that this was coming up. So we're getting are we getting Moxley or are we getting the 8-way first? No, it's Moxley. Okay. This makes a lot of sense. It's interesting how they made this story set up without having to worry about making a story set up here. With Anthony Bowens basically going through a series of vignettes, wanting to take on anybody to prove himself to Hook. So now he's going to take on Moxley. If he beats Moxley in this match, or even survives the 20 minutes, Renee changed for this. She went from white to black. She was in white yesterday, and so yeah, right now Samoa Joe is on the shelf. For how long, I don't know. It very well could be he's filming again. If you didn't know, the first time that he got written off TV, thanks to Chris Jericho, he was actually filming Twisted Metal Season 2, I think it was. It's got to be tough for him as well, because doing a part where he's just acting and literally not saying a word and has a mask over his face. And Mr. Zodiac, good to see you tonight. Good to see everybody tonight, but particularly seeing you tonight, always a lot of fun. One half of the, according to Kayla, number one contenders for the BPW tag titles. I seem to question that statement a little bit here, but we'll have to see how things go here. And for those that are asking about Backbreaker Pro Wrestling, yes, it is our E-Fed that we do here. We will be moving it over to WWE 2K26 as I play with my mic and all of a sudden it hits me. Sorry about that, chat. We will have an announcement coming up probably at Dynasty to indicate what we're doing with it. Hopefully we can get things going here pretty soon. I'll be honest, yesterday I downloaded about 25 characters. Like half the AEW roster's on there already, thanks to some great designers. Now we got to get our OG roster on there. I know Walker's got his done up. I've talked to some other wrestlers or some other participants in the show, and they some of them didn't get 26, which is fine. just means like I will admit I'll put some characters together, but they may not be the same. They're going to be very, very generic at this point, and if we could swap them out once we get more people involved, right? So, and I know, Chris, I got your request, so I will make sure I make the adjustments accordingly as we go. So. Yeah, like Bowens got written off TV too. We can't forget about that. Like Bowens was one of the original guys that you know this feud with Will Ospreay where Moxley ended up breaking Ospreay's neck. One of the guys leading up to that match was Bowens. Like him and Caster, that was where they were trying to get the team back together again. And Caster really didn't want to deal with anything, and we go from there. So FTR is probably going to take on the local guys, which I'm really going to look forward to, just to see who the local guys are going to be. Like I'm thinking in Edmonton, if you could get a Harlan Abbott and Jesse Youngblood tag team, even if they get squashed, like they're going to be over like Rover to that crowd. Who they're going to get here for tonight, I don't know exactly. And yeah, I do have the pinned message of the post, everyone. Just make sure I've done everything I can to avoid spoilers for tonight. I've heard about a few of the ROH ones because they actually happened before Dynamite started yesterday. I love that Winnipeg fans are going after Mox by the chair there. He's too busy dealing with their breath more than anything else. But here's the funny part. Bowens tries to keep Moxley out of the ring. That's actually very smart. Because in an eliminator match, if people don't realize this, it gets lost in the shuffle quite a bit as we go through this. You have John Moxley. John Moxley has to beat Bowens to eliminate him. A tie goes to the challenger, as well as a count out or whatever. The roles get reversed when it becomes a championship match, but the original way, this is actually the other way around. In a way, like a lot of people, like in Ring of Honor, if you watch this stuff, it's called a Proving Ground match. In many ways, it's not just a proving ground for the challenger. It is also a proving ground for the champion. Michael, thank you for the compliment once again. Good to see you here. I keep forgetting that my comments come up a little bit faster than what they do on your screen, guys. I try to keep a little bit of a space here, but with the multi-stream we got to put together here for YouTube and Twitch, it does involve a little bit of a delay here, but I still like the fact that it's running smooth so far. So. Well, yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Appreciate you. And I know the alert didn't come up, but Mr. Matt172, thank you for subscribing to the channel on YouTube. I got a notification on my phone. I didn't get one over on the on OBS for some crazy reason. Supposed to be alerts coming up. Oh, there it is. Took long enough. All right, so everything's coming up here. When you're watching on YouTube, you are watching a short version of this. If you want to watch the full screen version, come over to Twitch, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef here. So, hey, Bray, good to see you here tonight. Currently, we got Anthony Bowens and John Moxley going at it. We're also going to get Juice Robinson and Tommaso Ciampa, which I don't think is going to be the main event, but we're also getting an 8-person tag with the conglomeration tagging up with Jet Speed to take on Claudio, Wheeler, Finley, and Disco Inferno. I'll never get off of that. Clark Connors, a.k.a. Disco Inferno. And then, oh my God. Okay, here's the part. Do we get full? Nope, we're back to full commercial. God damn it. They were good for 1 week. And then they just had to ruin it. But, so yeah, here we got complete commercials here. So, we're also going to get the Divine Dominion in action, as well as FTR. And it's funny because since the show's in Winnipeg, I'm really excited to see who both those teams are going to face, because they're probably going to be people that work up here. What's next for Jericho? Well, he's trademarked the Cornerstone. So we'll see what happens there with that. I'm assuming it's he tries to get over his gimmick that he's like a foundational piece. What do I see with him? Who knows? Tony Khan's booking can be very weird when it's stuff like this. He's done so well with so many veterans that have come in. And a lot of veterans have given him a lot of slack because of what he did with Sting, compared to some of the other retirement storylines that have come up. So, yeah, it could. You didn't miss the whole match, by the way, DLW. This is the first match of the night. You didn't miss anything else yet. By the way, good to see you here tonight. Appreciate you. Oh, the other thing we're getting tonight is a Willow Nightengale open challenge for the TBS title. My money's on Monet, but I don't know yet. Yeah, next week is the Go Home Show at Edmonton. Just a reminder for everybody here watching, there will be no sidecast for Dynamite. Collision, I will be here. It'll be a little bit of Inception. I literally just picked up my ticket today for the show. You might see me on TV. I'm sitting right, like basically where Moxley comes out, I might be there. Like where the Death Riders usually come down the ramp. If they're coming from the back of the building, they might have me there, but I'm not sure. Hey, Christopher, good to see you here. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. But yeah, just as we're going through here, watching everything, like, okay. After next Saturday, we're on the road to Double or Nothing. No, we're not. We're the day before Dynasty, my friend. I appreciate your thoughts there, but yeah, no, the pay-per-view's on Sunday. Don't forget that. Next Sunday is AEW Dynasty. And then, yeah, we are on the road to Double or Nothing. And I wonder if there's something in the middle of that there, so. Christopher, I'll be honest with you. Don't self-promote on somebody's channel or you're not going to get much more than 4 at this point. So just please be careful. So if you want to learn how to grow your channel, that's a very good hint here right now. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, so we're probably going to have that in between, right? The Supercard of Honor, and that'll be a lot of pushing. You can check it out on all the socials here if you want any of the contact for me there. They're scrolling across the screen here. Name's Mike the Ref here, so. Pleasure to have you here. But yeah, Super Card of Honor, I really wonder where they're going to go because, like, are we finally going to get the spot where Athena's going to drop her title? And is Bandito going to be back? Like, we do know that he had some injuries, like especially to his shoulder, that have been hampering him a little bit. But also he's been having visa issues as well. So does he get all that cleaned up? Does he get back? Like, I don't know what the status of the ROH Men's World title is going to be. Like, we got the tag titles. We got the tag titles all over the place here. Yeah, like, I like the fact that Excalibur is actually calling it out here, the way that things are going here. Like, if Moxley needs to beat Bowens. Bowens doesn't necessarily need to beat Moxley in this match. And I really wish commentators would sell this a lot more in terms of the stakes in this for the champion. Because it would actually give a little bit more importance to why a champion would want to do this. Because essentially a champion gets an opportunity to let somebody out of dealing with, like, they don't have to deal with that challenger for the title. The rules are pretty obscure. It's unique, I think, is what I like to call it. Basically, the champions try to get rid of as many challengers as possible. And oh, you mean they don't explain it? Well, yeah, I get that. Sorry, chat. A little bit of a... I don't mind self-promotion. I don't mind... Like, hell, most of us on in here are streamers. Hell, I've been giving shout-outs to a lot of them. But you haven't talked once about wrestling here? Like, you haven't participated? Heh. So I throw a little time out right now, and if it happens again, we're just... Why did Bowens want to go for a chair here? Like, that's a DQ. I think he might realize that. Bowens hits the mollywop. I just want hot milfs in my area. Can they do that? It wouldn't hurt my feelings if you do that. That's fine by me. I'll delete the question, but oh my God, Moxley just turned it over into a bulldog. Think the Blue Jays will be good this year? Probably. Maybe when Baby W comes back.
Sir, no, sir!
No, we're not doing that. The Blue Jays will be fine. They got to get through. It all depends on their pitching, right? Just a heads up, we're 15 seconds away from an ad break because I forgot to hit the 3 minutes to start. So just a heads up for those that aren't subscribed to the channel on Twitch. Oh, there's a death rider. We're done here. Moxley wins again. But when it comes to the Blue Jays, it's once again like their pitching right now is awesome. Losing Cody Ponce is a big problem. Well, let's just throw a hidden blade out and now. Really hope Collision is good. The ballpark is apparently empty. It's $2 beer night. And I passed it up since they moved Collision. Oh, God. I'm sorry that you passed up $2 beer night. That seems to be a little bit blasphemous. There are games all weekend. I hope they're all... Not all $2. Well, okay, fair. Yeah, he held it up. Yeah, there's no way he's winning, I think, anyway. I think he gets the world title, and that's the next title he's going to hold. Okay. What does he want to change?
What the hell is that?
I thought the title was on the line already. Did I miss something here? Like, did we not already have this title on the line? Uh-oh. Did Osprey fuck that up? Probably. Takeshita's in Japan, I do believe, right now. You fight for Kyle Fletcher. What the... Oh, it's interesting to say the least. Uh-oh. All right, in the ring match. Let's go. Like I said, normally the All Right in the Ring matches really don't matter, but like I said, for knowing that we do have people here that are local here, probably in the ring, I'll let you guys know here in a sec. How injured is Fletcher? Is like, well, he's in a walking boot. Nobody else is saying anything else. Oh my God, we got Ava Lawless here. And Kristara is actually from Quebec, and she works with Mystery Wrestling a lot. She's a trainee of Speedball Mike Bailey. Ava Lawless, straight out of Edmonton, Top Town Pro Wrestling. Yes, I got the drink, by the way. Weird night tonight, so I'm just going with the Coke, so. But yeah, Ava, one of the stars here. She's originally out of Ottawa. Now wrestles mainly out of Edmonton. But Kristara, and many people would believe that if you want to talk about Canadian stars that are not signed that should be, Kristara is probably one of those in that higher level right now for the youth side of it. Like I would say right now, probably the biggest star in Canada that hasn't been signed for the women's side would be Nicole Matthews. Even though she is up in years. Like she was part of that Mae Young Classic that, oh God. Like Lena Cross literally being the backup for Megan oh God. Divine Dominion better not get into Wardlow loop and just take on jobbers all the time. No, I just think they don't have anything set up for tags right now. Like, who do you have for the tag division right now? The Brawling Birds. The Sisters of Sin. You just broke up the Babes of Wrath, at least temporarily or permanent, whichever it is. Tony's gone, so Tony and Mina are no longer a team. The Inspiration, they worked a Ring of Honor match before the show started yesterday. Eventually, you could bring them back up, but they're going to have to get some wins down there at least first. Ty, we don't know, and Anna, like, apparently her contract's up, but here's the problem. Here's the problem with Anna Jay. You look at Anna, she looks and acts very familiar to a lot of the wrestlers that are already at NXT. Oh, Jesus, Kristara. Yeah, that's dead. Anna Jay would work great in the Fed. She'd fit right in, but I don't think she'd stand out. That's the thing. As long as she knows her role. I do think that she would fit in there well. It's just she's another one that fits in just like all the others. Well, you can't stand. He's not at 100%. Okay. Could this be something that we just assumed and it just something that we screwed up? We'd have to go back and take a look, but yeah, and I'll Will Ospreay's been famous for this lately. The fact that sorry, I got to hit the mute button here. Will Ospreay has had a problem with he'll get in his own head sometimes, and that's what causes him whatever losses he gets, whether it be against Swerve in the world title run that he didn't want to hit the Tiger Driver, and that's what ended up costing him the match against Swerve. When he lost the international title originally to MJF before getting it back at Wembley. It basically came down to Ospreay getting in his own head, but as per the title match, like, I guess it is, I guess it's a thing that, that it just randomly just added in here, and I thought we all knew that it was going to be already. We'd have to go back and take a look at the graphics, and honestly, I don't want to waste my time with that because there's no real reason to. Sorry, just getting a couple messages coming in here. So, but either way, title's on the line. We get Willow Nightengale up next for the TBS Championship, and I really wonder who this is going to be. Like I said before, my money's on Monet, but doesn't matter. Fruit of the Loom had a cornucopia. Either way, we're going to have a great match. Title or not, I don't think the title gets changed. Which, giving Mox a win over Ospreay, I don't know if you really need to do that right now, just because Ospreay needs to build some stuff up. Like, he literally, he's had 2 matches since he had Pac, and he had his opening match with Blake Christian. That's all he's had since the injury. Now he's getting thrown straight into the fire with Moxley. He's going to work New Japan this weekend, apparently in a 6-man tag. And then there's Edmonton next Wednesday, which I know Andre was in here earlier. He's begging for Ospreay to show up. I don't know. I honestly don't know if it's going to happen or not. Oh my God, they're back. I will not change my set. I will enjoy this set. Who do they pick up, chat? Who do they pick up? Because Cedric apparently re-signed with TNA. Kevin Knight. That would be a cool one, to be honest. Like, I know he's got the Trios title, but between Swerve and the Hurt Syndicate, like, there's some heavy recruiting for Kevin Knight, and you don't really blame him. All right, Willow back up here in Winnipeg and got the open challenge here, and I really wonder who this is going to be. Not Leo? Well, let's hope not. If it's Golem Leo, who? Holy shit. Or may I correct myself? Holy Sheeta. Sheeta's back. Visa's fixed. Everybody was asking about the visa issues. They are fixed. And she's looking in great shape right now. It's funny. I've been checking out the stream that she does. She is a YouTube streamer. She's been going through the entire Yakuza series. I think so. She's been helping out a lot. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Goddamn disconnect again. It's that popular time of day where things just disconnect randomly. Sorry about that, chat. But yeah, it's so funny because they're putting up the graphic, trying to get the ad in for Double or Nothing, and the commentators are having nothing to do with it here. But no, it's great to see that Sheeta's back, and very interesting matchup here between these two. But also, what has Sheeta changed since she's gone? Did she get her visa issue sorted, or is it just Canada and not USA? Here's the thing. She lives in Florida. Like, she got her visa issues fixed. She got back into, like, we were talking about, she's still with Kenny, right? They're out of Orlando. So I would assume the visa issues are fixed, or she's going to be working 3 weeks and not going to be able to get back into the country for a very long time. Because here's the other part, and I know some other wrestlers have been having issues with the visas as well. And the one I remember the most about this was Gunther. He mentioned when his visa came up that he actually had to spend some time solely in the States. Like, he wasn't allowed to leave the country. Like, that's why he was not on some of the out-of-country pay-per-views. Just read she's been back in the USA. Yeah, like, she got her visa issues fixed for a while. The only thing is, sometimes on those visa issues, it requires you to stay in the country for an extended period of time. Like, if you're trying to apply for a visa and then you're just hot-shotting once in a while back and forth, they usually have a tendency not to give it to you. She didn't see that pounce coming. This crowd, ugh. I'm not going to blame them, the crowd, for being a little bit down right now. This is technically like hour 3.5. Plus, they had some Ring of Honor matches earlier, so... Actually, no, this would be about the start of hour 4 for them in terms of the live show. So, don't want to squash on the feelings a little too much here, just... It's really great to get that we're getting a lot of these issues fixed up and a lot of things sorted out here. Especially, like, you find someone like Sheeta here who has... It's been such stop-start with her, right? Doesn't Lashley have to try and kill Max in terms of story? Here's where we can go with that. And I'll get back to your comment, DLW, in just 1 second here. It's I think there's a position here where if Omega wins the title, this is where you can have Lashley going after Max, because Max is trying to go back to the title, and Lashley says, "No, I'm taking care of you before you even think about worrying about the title." It very well could be a situation like that as they go here. So, we'll know a lot more after Dynasty about where these guys are headed. Could they be doing trios? Could they get back in the tag? Could they all be going for singles titles? There's a possibility for all three at this point. And yeah, and DLW talking about a babyface versus babyface match with no heat 3 hours into the show. It's not the performer's fault. The crowd is going to start dead. Yeah. The thing about AEW and this face, heel, we talked about it in the opening matchup here, where essentially we had two heels going at it with Anthony Bowens and John Moxley. And yes, it was two heels going at it. It's essentially here. And here's the other part of it. And this is where I don't know what's going on. This is a tape show, so the matches can be performed in a different order compared to what they're actually going to be presented on TV with. I don't know what order things came in. We're going to find out a lot more about this, how things go a little bit more when I come back here. Our Saturday stream will feature here. What if the third member is Jericho?
No, please, no.
Because that thing would literally run the same way that it did with MJF. Big Bill would be a good choice. Of the Hurt business? Yeah, no. Yeah, that's what we're talking about there. But if Jericho came in, it would be the exact same run that MJF had. MJF tried to use the Hurt Syndicate as a blocker for getting the world title. Until Bobby said enough and we're not doing this bullshit anymore. With one of the worst payoffs ever. Which they do need to make up for, which there very well could be a possibility that Lashley goes after. Ciampa would also be good, yeah. Could you imagine Ciampa with backup? Since it looks like we're probably not getting Gargano anytime soon, as he's at Stand and Deliver this Saturday. At least I think he is. Lashley or Shelton versus MJF in New York. That. What do we say about that? Money. So just a 2 count there. Yeah, could you imagine if Shida wins tonight and Willow basically could go back to being a tag team thing? Gun to your head, what do you foresee happening with Jericho? Let's see now. What do I see happening? Jericho Darby. If this cornerstone gimmick is actually what they're going to be doing, the real cornerstone of, feel like it's that nothing. And to us, anything Darby right now is just, it's on a real slow burn. Here's the thing, Nats, and I just want to be straight with this. And we'll talk about it a little more in depth here after this match, because it looks like we're getting to a bit of a crescendo here. Willow going for the moonsault. Oh, God. Do we got a new champ? No. Holy shit. No, just 2. Missed the katana kick, which you could see the ring rust on that katana kick right there. Ah, the high stack pin. All right. Very good match. And I wonder if this is like, I want to see the reaction after this match. Are we going to go, by the way, sorry, we got an ad break coming here, but we got Sheeta returning, but does she, Sheeta's looking like, oh, I like this. I like this. She's considering turning her back. Heel Sheeta would not be the worst thing in the world for me here. Willow didn't see what happened before, so she's like, all right, you're okay. We're not going to do anything crazy. So what are we getting next? I'm assuming we get we get FTR now. So we're going to get our other Already in the Ring match, which is probably going to get me more excited than it really should. But yeah, like it's going to be interesting to see where Sheeta ends up here in all this. I do think there is a possibility she does get back to the TBS title. Like once she gets this turn, it pretty much opens up an extra spot here for a another title match here, in a sense. As we move forward here, I'm really excited to see what happens here at this point. If we could get remember, there's a lot of people we could throw in the mix here at this point. We're gonna wait till Harley gets back as well. We'll go Willow and Tekla pretty soon. Here's the question, and we're going to get back to Jericho here in 1 second, but let's stick with Willow for a little bit here. Willow versus Tekla. Would that be the match that you'd want for Willow to take the title? I would say if Willow's going to take the title, if you're not going to do Monet and Willow for the title, you do Willow and Tekla. And you do that in Wembley. If you could pull that off, let Willow get all the way to the finals. Like, she's always fallen short in the Owen tournament, right? Just one match short. First, she usually loses to the winner. But yeah, if you could possibly get Willow to the point where she wins the Owen so she could take on the champ at Wembley. Like, I think we're all pretty much looking towards Omega versus Ospreay at Wembley. Willow versus Tekla is also a very good choice. I do think we could get, like, a long shot would be Monet and Willow for just a repay back of all the storyline that's been going through with those two. But if you're going to do Willow and Tekla, I say you hold off. If you don't do it at Double or Nothing, you do it at Wembley. Like, I really don't feel that you should sell that match short. And that's what, putting it in this position right now, it's a little bit too soon for it. I got a feeling we probably are going to end up with Hayter and Tekla coming up. Hey, Vic, how you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. We're having a lot of fun tonight. If you missed it earlier, we just had the return of Hikaru Shida to AEW as she took on Willow Nightengale for the TBS Championship in a hell of a fun match, and which culminated in possibly a heel turn for Shida. Not completely yet, but a reconsidering of conscience. Oh, here we go. This is like the WPW roster here. Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. Coming out as security. I don't care about these two. I want to see who the two Already in the Ring members are. Stokes. Oh my God. Mo Jabari, the trainee of Bret Hart, and London Lightning, the RJ City Jr., if you don't know. He is also the Mystery Wrestling World Champion, the owner of all the marbles, and a very highly touted prospect. Basically, the gimmick of London Lightning is that he is basically a younger version of RJ City. But yeah, Mo Jabari on the right, he is actually one of the very few that has been personally trained by Bret Hart. His home promotion now is considered Dungeon Wrestling out of Calgary. I know London Lightning does a lot of work in A1 out in Hamilton, so McGee would know a lot about him. But I guarantee you, if Dax had to look through the list of all the extras and he saw Mo on there and he was just told he was Bret's kid, he'd be all over it. There's no surprise to see this happening. I'll say this right now. When you get to Edmonton, if they have a match like this, I guarantee you the crowd will be a lot louder for Mo. Not that I don't want to put over a Winnipeg crowd, but that crowd's going to be very interesting. Vaughn Vertigo's one of the... Hey, McGee, by the way, good to see you tonight. Praise balls. Yeah, a lot of the WPW roster, the ones that worked Tuesday's show... For those that don't know, Winnipeg Pro Wrestling had a card on Wednesday or on Tuesday. I do believe the main event was Mercedes Moné and Jody Threat, where Moné went down to 2 belts Moné. London getting some work in here. I love this. Oh, here we go. Now back to the hair pull. Yeah, when we're here next Saturday, I will pretty much label out everybody, or at least a good portion of the people that are there. In terms of indie shows, I haven't been to one in a long while. So there might be some new characters that I might not recognize there, but quite often they use the 2 major promotions in Edmonton. There's one in particular that Evil Uno used for his last mystery wrestling show known as Top Town Pro Wrestling here in Edmonton. They're both pin one. London, would you not pin somebody? Like, seriously. Oh, God. Yeah, no, that was such a fucking awkward finish. That was awkward. I have to say that. Like, London's not that green. He just looks like a... Cope doesn't even get his music out. Christians gets his first. Are they reversing trends here? Where Christian's going to be the one at the top of the ramp and Cope's coming through the crowd? Comedy gimmick gone Aubrey? Yeah, basically. Sorry, security. You really didn't need to be there. I wonder where we're going to go with this. I'd assume Cope and Christian. Thought it was an okay spot, but it worked better with an established wrestler. Like, It just looks like he's greener than Goose. Like, what do you do when two guys are knocked out? You get over there and you pin them right away. What a bite. And an execution, we haven't seen that in a while. Well, they want the titles. They just want their asses, too. It's like Christian's the expert. Oh, God. Stokes waiting. Stokely, he's got some reflexes there. Give him the full credit. Oh, God. He's using London Lightning as... Really? Yeah. Why security would actually physically go out and attack? Well, security guy's dead. You think Dax is really concerned about, a security guy getting cracked in the head? Not really. It's not even telling me that it's disconnecting at this point, which is even pissing me off even more. Let's just fix that up here. Yeah, this is, like I said. There we go. Hater and Tekla. Gotta love Mina. Don't beat her. Beat the piss out of her. It shouldn't pop that much more, but it does. So, yeah, AEW, I do like the fact that unless you're an actual manager, they don't allow you ringside at all. They actually prefer the Juice baby making Robinson. He deserves a horn for that. If that's true, like we're assuming that's the case. Just because what else could it be, right? Yeah, chat. I don't know what's going on with this server. I gotta contact Talus and see what happens here, because it almost feels like we're disconnecting during just the peak hours here. Because during the day, I never usually have this problem, so. Didn't even sound the bell. It must have been edited out for some reason. So yeah, we got 1 hour to go here still, and we got some good matches still lined up here. We got this, we got the tornado tag. I know we have good matches. we're probably going to get a standby match in here somewhere because this ain't going to last an hour. This might be a good 20-minute match here. Maybe I can get some eye drink from my computer. I don't know. Going down into the side Russian leg sweep. Yeah, like that, Shivani. Oh, it seems like my Stream Elements widget died too for a second there. So forgive me if I'm looking back and forth here for chats here, folks, because I'm just trying to keep up with everything. But yeah, Juice. Hopefully, Juice can find some way to get out of the blocks here a little bit. You know, all his tag team partners disappear. He gets a little injured. Jay White, there's been no real talk about it. It's almost to the point where everybody's just assuming he's not coming back. Because how long has he been gone for? We're almost getting to the range where we're going 2 years here. Lost 150 pounds. Let's go. Attaboy. Wasn't fat, but needed. Hey, you know what? 330 is still big. I know because, well, it's actually funny because I was actually listening to, and a lot of us know, a lot of us met each other through Remember the Game and different subsidiaries there, and they do a show called Purple Monkey Dishwasher, which covers all the Simpsons episodes. This week they were talking about the week that Homer decided to get up to 300 pounds to go on disability. The infamous Homer and a Moo-Moo. But where I'm going with this is they were talking about how technically 300 shouldn't be that fat. Well, I remember during the pandemic, and I'm talking about myself here, so it's not self-deprecating, it's just facts. When we started coming out with the COVID shot, the government gave priority to people that were technically disabled. And one of them is obesity, which it really is, but it's rated based on body mass index. And because I'm 6 feet, and at the time I was just teetering around 320, for 6 feet, 317 is considered obese. Like clinically obese. So I actually got lucky that the fact that I actually got to get the COVID vaccine early. So, and you know, you could debate whether that was a good thing, bad thing, or other thing. That's a whole different ball of wax other. But what I'm trying to say is what Homer did is not really that far out of reach here. So, Ciampa applauding himself there. Simpsons predictions go. Yeah, well, how much do you think people are paying them to come up with special predictions now? Because to me, I think there's a few that they wish they would come up with that would fit a few things here. So. But yeah, as we're going into commercial break here for the show, when it comes to AEW and what they're doing with their mid card titles, like Ciampa has to get into a title picture somewhere here. Like things are being held a little bit stable right now. I do wonder if eventually they're firing back to get Ciampa and Briscoe back together for another match. I would assume that feud is done, but like Ciampa's come in, Ciampa's dominated, but he needs to get in certain title territory. So Ciampa's not world title material. By the way, good to see you here. Just call me Patty. I'll call you Patty. He's a great as an upper mid-carder. Well, here's the thing in AEW, you got the TNT title, you got the Continental title, you got the International title. Like, they're not short on titles. And the fact that Okada's defended his title once in, what? We're in 4 months now? Who gets sliding in the main event every now and then? Fair enough. But here's the thing, like, when he was like NXT champion, he fit in just like a glove. I know the main feud with him was with Johnny. And it's opinions here and there. Like, you're never going to really know if somebody is a world title positioner unless he's actually in that position. You can tell in hindsight. You can predict in foresight. And we also haven't seen what Johnny's really, or what Tommaso's really into here right now. And right now we're still trying to flesh out exactly what direction he is headed into, right? But he wasn't in programs. Here's the thing, Patty, and this is the thing we reiterate around here. Those guys are at a different level. Here's the thing, and I appreciate bringing this up. Was Tommaso ever given the chance to go up against a Randy or a Cody or a Punk? Because in Ring of Honor, like, and this is OG Ring of Honor, I do believe Ciampa and Punk was an absolutely banger feud that they had together. So there's a little give and take here all over the place here, right? Like, and it more so comes down to the booking more than it does the talent. Like, we could say that anybody is in a lower level. And to me, Patty, to be perfectly honest, I do feel that a comment like that, it comes down to the booking. It doesn't come down to the wrestlers itself. And the best way I can explain that is, even in 2026, you can get Rey Mysterio over as a champion. You can get smaller guys over as champions. It's how do you book it to make it smart like that? Because wrestling isn't just physical. Yes, physical has a lot to do with it. But I blame more so the bookers than I do the wrestlers themselves in many ways. If the booker's given somebody plenty of opportunity and they've just plain old dropped the ball, then yeah, fine. Total win, total victory. But if the booker won't even give him a chance at that level, there's always going to be that level of doubt. There's always going to be that level of, do we know? Do we really know for sure what's going to be one way or the other? Like, I've been really skeptical of a lot. Like, my personal belief, and I've believed this for the longest time, that there is a spot for every wrestler on the roster somewhere. It may not be the top spot. It may not be the bottom spot. Maybe it could be anywhere in between. It could be any spot, really. It's how do you get them? How do you fit square pegs into round holes? And that's something that seems to be going on here a lot. And Twitch, by the way, we're going into an ad break here quick. Sorry about that. Like AEW, it's just they have too many titles. The most in-ring matches are copying. Kane Orange, metal. All right, Patty. I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on some of that. And this is a performance art. Everybody's allowed to have their opinion. If you want to talk about copy and paste matches, like, I don't want to compare oranges and sweat socks, but I see a lot more of that in WWE than I do in AEW. And that's actually one of the things that I like about AEW is the fact that they do have a difference in styles. And once again, it's just that booking. Like, do you want Orange to be a world... How you can pick Orange to be a world title person while a guy like Ciampa isn't, and just say one can be this way and one can't? And yeah, that's the other big thing. People get hurt. And that has a lot to do with it. Like, realistically, size-wise, like, Kenny is similarly in that position right now that he's small like that. Okay, Widow's Bell only gets you a 2. Because, like, you can see a lot of things that are different here, like including with Ciampa here. Cassidy can work both baby. Well, here's the thing. We've never seen Cassidy as a heel. And like MJF, we've seen it as a face, but honestly, with some of the stuff he does, like, he is a heel. And some guys just have certain roles. And we've never seen Cassidy work a heel. You might have seen him on an indie style. May not fit here. Oh, no, Patty. No, we appreciate everybody here, and I don't mind having different opinions. One thing we've always said here, and we've always agreed to it. If you have a take, at least have a take for a reason. Because we had guys in here, like, many people considered, I think it was Double or Nothing 2021, or All In 2021. One of the best pay-per-views of all time. We've had guys in here that just come in, yeah, AEW's got no storylines. They're like, no, pretty much AEW had a storyline for every match and it went really well. When we ask people to show their work, that's the biggest problem. And Ciampa's got this now. 2 running knees gets the job done. But no, like, as long as you're willing to show your work, and yes, it's a performing art, so everybody is allowed to have different opinions. Cassidy's character has a lot of room to work in both directions. You can be nonchalant and vicious. Yeah, that was about 2 years ago. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Oh, absolutely. I do think there's character work, but once again, it has to be more hindsight than foresight. And Patty, I agree with you. Like, where we could say there's a potential for Cassidy to go there in both directions, Ciampa, we haven't seen what Ciampa can do right now on his own. Where it's not finger under the control here. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Zodiac, you were in here. He's actually even sent me a band notice saying he didn't know what he did. Like, and Zodiac's right here. Like, we allow different opinions. Just don't come at us saying that WWE is the be-all, end-all. Oh, that's right. We still got Don Callis and the Rascals yet. So yeah, just straight up, Patty, feel free to throw your opinions up. We don't mind. Just let's have a discussion. Let's just not say this is definitive and that's it. And if I do that in some cases, please feel free to call me on it, because I have no problem with that whatsoever. Appreciate all of you being here, because we have a lot of fun here talking wrestling. We get a little stupid sometimes, which I don't mind whatsoever. I don't think you guys do either. Yeah, I remember which stream it was. Yeah, it's Get the Tables. It's one of the guys' regulars that are there. Here's the other thing, and Zodiac, I'll give you a little bit of clarity. He would always give himself the Rock entrance whenever he showed up. He should work with all the top guys at AEW. We agree with that for sure, but they're people like Samoa Joe, Kenny Omega, Orange Cassidy, Moxley, the real main eventers. Fair. My personal opinion, I think Ciampa could sell tickets in that position. Put stream in. I'm trying to figure out some way that I don't have to approve my own ad messages for YouTube here on in my own chat for some reason. So on that, I respectfully disagree. Nice to have a civil discussion. Yeah, tribalism's there. Like I'll be the first one to admit. Like if it comes down to AEW versus WWE, like I don't think you need to have that argument. But if I'm gonna have one, I don't watch enough WWE right now just because of the format of the programming. If I watch it on speed run, and there's certain wrestlers that I look for, just like I have certain wrestlers that I look for here on AEW. There's some particular favorites, which I think everybody has those. But to speak on what you're talking about with all those listed above, if they didn't have a belief that everybody could, like you can have those upper mid-card guys that can get into that one. Yeah, Zodiac's a diehard AEW homer, as well as McGee, as well as in there. If we didn't give an opportunity to people and just see what happens, we wouldn't get Kyle Fletcher in the position that he's in right now. Besides injured. God bless Jack Perry. I like this build to WrestleMania. A lot of WWE fans agree with. Yeah. Just one sec. Darby, Brody, and Jack Perry. Great. All right. Well, I know my first match that I'm getting. I like the little comedy bit there. But yeah, that's the first match we're getting known on Dynamite on Wednesday. That's pretty much where I feel on that one personally, but no, the terms of the build for the main event I absolutely love. When it comes to WrestleMania, the Roman and Punk thing, and they are going to do some great work. A lot of the rest of it,
What the hell is that?
I see a lot of that for the rest of it. Like the IC title just confuses me right now because it looks like they might be doing. Please beat Darby on. Like, we're all in the same boat right now. I think Andrade, all of us want to see Andrade win that match. My personal opinion, and like I said, we could talk about predictions next week a little bit more next Saturday. Just a reminder, I won't be here next Wednesday for Dynamite because I will be at Dynamite. But my personal feeling is Omega wins as well as Andrade wins. And we end up getting Andrade Omega for the main event of Double or Nothing. They also just fired most of the SmackDown writing team because things were just getting ridiculous. Yeah. You know when you fire your writing team, you know there's problems coming, right? Like, you know there's certain things going on that are just causing problems. It's so funny because we had BG James or Brian James or Road Dogg or whatever you want to call him at his first convention just a week. Jade and Rhea feud like because Bianca's not available to work. Well, the Rascals just got rascaled out of the ring. Rhea could do some great work when she give it. I think she'll get a good chance. It's just, how do I put this politely? She could pull a good match out of Nia Jax. I don't know if she could pull a good match out of Jade. I really don't. You want to talk about somebody who could probably go into that upper mid-card spot, but should be nowhere near the world title? And I miss Bianca and Naomi. They're the best women. Well, I've always been a Bayley fan. We do have, if you aren't familiar with some of our 2K work that we do here, we do have a very specific character that we brought in. Her name is Bayley Dub because, well, we just, when the contract's up, that's what we want to see here. So there's a whole bunch of others that are amazing. But yeah, Zodiac, Jade has had 2 title defenses since she won the title. And yeah, the Mania title match for the WWE Women's Championship is Jade versus Rhea. Oh, they just okay. Windsor and Shafir. Now put the New Japan Strong title on the line and let's just make that official here. So we just got 2 more women's matches announced. For anybody that's complaining that there's no women's matches announced on the card, we're up to 2 now. Do I think we're going to get more? I don't know. Jade should be nowhere near that world title. Straight up. Just shouldn't. To be God honest, what they tried with her with the TBS title in AEW. When Stat took that title off her, like, that should have been long in coming. Should have given her a U.S. title problem to work on her. Well, you know what? I'll agree with that statement except for the last word. Just get a character to begin with. Oh, yeah. But here's the thing. She got signed for WWE money. They Goldberged her. She did well in AEW. It worked to a point. There was a taser moment in that run. It was about 10 defenses before she ended. Like, she was a good couple months over her title reign where she should have been. But the fact that she's in a mid-card title gives her that much more really, she was just given extra money. It's straight up. That's why they said they didn't put her down in NXT, is because she was making WWE money. She wasn't making NXT money. So, yeah, she's improved. The biggest thing I say when somebody has improved a lot and they're still at a low level, think of it this way. When you have that much more to improve, there's a lot of room for growth. It still doesn't make you any better than what you are. And frankly, oh my God, really? Nia, I give a lot more respect to. Like, from what I've seen, she knows her role. She knows how to fit it, right? Because here, let me give you the best example. Best example I can give you. On an exam. Let's say you get a 25 on an exam. All right, well, that's just basically... So let's put it this way. You got 20% better on that exam. You worked so hard and you got yourself up another 20%. You went from a 25 to a 45. That still technically is an F. Some people just have a ceiling, and I do feel that we do have that ceiling with people like Jade. Like, and that's the thing. And it sort of counteracts what we were talking about here with Ciampa, right? And sort of collaborates along with it, if you think about it. We're talking about Ciampa not being able to work with those higher ups in a top position, right? Would still consider it improvement at the 20-point shot? Absolutely. Motivation. Absolutely, it should be motivation if you can improve it even more. And that's one of the big things. That you do need to improve it that much more, right? So, but yeah, some people, and here's the thing with Ciampa, we talk about, he can go up there and work it. We don't know because he hasn't got that shot. If Jade's got that shot, and now we see that she really can't hang up there, at least not right now. If Logan Paul could come in, can look like a professional wrestler in almost no time, while Jade has struggled for years, a lot of it is just getting it. Yeah, like, people will get it at different times. And one of the best examples I will give you is Harley Cameron. When she started in AEW, it honestly looked like she was just going to be a joke character, a side manager, and that was it. And to many of us in the channel here, we sort of came to a conclusion that Harley Cameron was not only the most improved wrestler in 2024, she was also the most improved wrestler in 2025. Which, if you're going to get that for 2 years in a row, like, damn girl, you got some growth going on here. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other wrestlers that have improved in that time, but that was just a special hit there, right? So Harley Cameron is great. She's not the most talented, but she gets it. That's it. Yeah, Logan Paul is good. Yeah, like, that's the thing about performing arts. And let's not forget ourselves. Like, we talk about this like a competition. As an in-ring guy, no. Well, as soon as they hear that they're going to do a WrestleMania in Japan, he's going to be flying, and just no, we'll just go with that one. But yeah, Harley Cameron is the perfect example of someone who gets it, figures it out completely. And there are some wrestlers that just get it naturally, some that come up the roster, and it all comes down to how you're booked, right? Like, we're at a real precipice right now with, like, we were talking about, like, I brought up Harley Cameron. Harley's in a precipice right now. Like, what do they do with her now that she's no longer with Willow? Like, she has the ability to be in that TBS race, personally. Hell, maybe even like the ROH Women's World title, the ROH TV title, something like that. Hate that Jada's mid in the ring because that girl's such a good promo. Well, here's the thing. She's in NXT. And that's what NXT's there for, to get you better in the ring. Speaking of not booked, I have a great idea. Keith Lee for the Hurt Syndicate. Oh my God. Could you imagine Keith Lee coming back out of nowhere for the Hurt Syndicate? I might die on stream. I might literally die on stream. Chelsea Green for AEW would be, yeah, like, if Keith Lee was that fourth killer, that would be absolutely amazing. Chelsea Green, I love her ability, but I think Chelsea's role literally, like, don't get me wrong, she's absolutely fantastic and I want her there, but Chelsea to me is somebody that Harley's already there. And yes, I do think that, Harley Cameron is Chelsea Green for AEW. Absolutely. There you go. That's exactly where we're going with this. That's where I was going with it. But her match with Penta and Lucha Underground, yeah, like, oh, Callis having a bit of an aneurysm. I'm surprised he's not booed. He's not booed out of the building here because he is in his hometown. They have to show a tiny bit of respect for him. I guarantee you next week, I will make it my life's mission to make sure that Don Callis is booed out of the building. Better wrestler? Open to interpretation. Because I know guaranteed an AEW style is a... Bringing a sign? No, I don't do signs. Personally, I'm not a guy that wants a sign to... Because what sign am I going to do? Like, my channel isn't exactly... Cole Caulfield got his 49th goal. Let's go. One more to 50. Please just don't lose to the Sabres in the first round there, McG. That's all I could ask. But Cardona, like, he may not be the best wrestler in the world, but he is definitely he is the ultimate star for WWE. That's his style, is the WWE style. Well, Xavier's dead. And Davis just literally picked up and absolutely destroyed Wentz. Rumor is Hage is being brought up as soon. Maybe. Cardona's a good marketing. Well, yeah, like Cardona gets it. That's the thing. And here's another one. We just saw another guy in the ring right now. Like, from his last run in AEW, Andrade, his personality was drier than a popcorn fart, I think is the best way to put it. Andrade's now found himself, found his gimmick, and realistically, he could be one of those guys that's in the world title picture. I don't think Eddie Kingston would work with the Syndicate at all. Just because... Yeah, look at Marina too. Like, The only misstep they had with her is Marina said that she was... Marina always talked about being Russian, and all of a sudden, magically, she got back her English language. So what's Okada doing out here now? So why are they coming after the Rascals? That would have been dark. All right, well, we got our 0 hour feud going on here with the Rascals and RPG Vice. We might even get a trios match out of this. Myron Reed taking out all three of RPG Vice here. Rocky's favorite food is pin. Oh my, that one sold me. Somebody needs to put that on a shirt. That needs to be on a sign. Oh God. Myron jumped so high that they didn't even think about catching him there. We might get this match next Saturday. Because I don't even know if we're going to get Okada on Dynasty. Like, we only have about half the cards set up so far, right? So, Naito's journey of beating Okada for the IWGP World Title is one of your favorite long-term stories. And for me, one of my favorite long-term stories was the whole Hangman to his second title. But yeah, Naito's journey was absolutely a fun one to watch as well. Like I said, I don't get much time to watch. I love all forms of wrestling, but when it comes to my time, you guys love AEW with me, so that's why we watch more of that than anything else here. Off stream, I'll try and watch whatever I can, but, you know, full-time worker, gamer, and wrestling streamer, it's all a bit of a mix here. But as per tradition, as we're getting into our main event here tonight, I do give you a bit of a rundown what's coming up on the channel in the next few days. So normally this stream is on Saturday because, well, Collision's normally on Saturday. So this Saturday will be up, I'm thinking about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock Eastern. We'll probably look at after Stand and Deliver. I might check out some of that. I might start earlier if the show's crap, but we'll see. Probably going to throw a Fortnite stream on this weekend. Take it easy. Get some shoots in. You know, Daffy Duck is now in Fortnite, so you know I got to take advantage of something like that. Sunday will be a little bit of a TBA as well as Monday. No stream Tuesday. Wednesday, I was about to say stream, but there is no stream on Wednesday either. This is the first time I'm going to be missing Dynamite in probably, well, hell, it would have been a full year now because that's the last time that AEW was in town. I will be in attendance for AEW. There is, follow me on socials. I'll recommend a few channels for you guys to check out. I don't know who's all covering it on Wednesday here, but most of the people I'll recommend are actually going to be at the show too. So, and then Thursday we'll be back with Michelle the Ref with Road to the Show. As we, if you watch today, we actually got our spot in the MLB Futures game. As we are absolutely dominating AA right now, and we're pretty close to getting called up to AAA. So, but as always, folks, if you're watching on the old YouTube channel, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Tell all your friends. Tell all your enemies. If you're watching over on Twitch, make sure you're giving us a follow. If If you like what you see here, consider subscribing. Anything that comes in monetarily goes right back into the channel. But whether you're lurking, chatting, or just looking for a great time, it's always appreciated to see you here. So, well, yeah, there's the spiel. Just get it in before the commercial break's done here. Okada's story was going at the same time, being a champion who was slowing down. Chef's camp. And that made a lot of sense. And then we also got one thing I love about AEW is Moxley's theme song. Wild Thing is one of my... Yeah. Well, Moxley's... It's funny because I actually got DMCA'd for trying to use that as a button here, so... Oh, good old David Finlay just booting one of the production guys at the table. That's always classic. I swear to God, Clark Connors, he needs to wear flare pants and he ends up being Disco Inferno per copy. Like, it's funny because Gabe Kidd isn't here tonight, which I'm guessing he might be working something in New Japan, but some of the comments he's been making on press conferences about New Japan, I think that contract's up and done. And the fact that he got put in a casket also might say a little bit too. And I'm a little bit disappointed how quickly he was put in a casket in that match. Claudio with the Lucha mask. Don't hit the walls. But yeah, Claudio said even after he lost the title, which he did to Hit Cesaro about a month ago now, he was going to keep up the tradition of and here's the thing, Patty. Claudio was world champ. And the thing about AEW I do like is the fact that they do consider the New Japan title as well as the CMLL title just as big. Because they did have a couple defenses of that title here. And yes, I understand, like in the grand scheme of things, AEW is going to be the AEW title. That's going to be the top one regardless, no matter what. And Claudio is absolutely one of my favorites. Yeah, the AEW World title is the title, and that's one thing MJF gets right all the time. When he does his promos, he says the one title that everybody wants is the AEW World title. Oh, that's right. It's Mystico and Kevin Knight because Speedball was taken on MJF on Wednesday. WWE World Heavyweight title, their main titles. I get it. And here's one thing that always steps out, and it's funny because we talked about this before. Even in AEW, this had to be the case. They would have, in many ways, like at All Out 2023, the night that Punk got fired, the main event was the international title, and I think that's 2 All Outs in a row that the international title was the one that main evented. Yes, we all know that the AEW World title is the title. But the biggest thing is, how are you as a wrestler putting your title in a position where it seems like the most important title? And that's a game that AEW plays quite a bit. that, yes, we do know what de facto is the heaviest title. Yeah, and that's exactly where we're going here. Like, Gunther felt like the champion, while the running around with the world heavyweight title just didn't have that same pop to it. Like, it almost felt like they should be switching titles at that point. And AEW will do that quite often too, where another title will feel more important than all the other. Like, there's been a while there where the trios title felt extremely important. It wasn't very long because, you know, they don't defend it enough. Yep, Jericho's going to get booed out of the building next week, guaranteed. Holy shit. Aminata's back. Let's go. Oh, fuck. Andrade? Oh, my God. Edmonton's going to be so amazing. I'm sorry I'm not here for a sidecast, guys. I'm just going to be so excited to be there. This is going to be fun on Wednesday. I'll try and take some photos. I'll try to, yeah. It's AEW's problem with the TBS and the... Yeah, like, for so long... Okay, so we are going to be back next Saturday with Collision over here, so. Yeah, the TBS and the women's, like, for so long, Mercedes made it feel like the TBS title was more important, right? And yeah, Queen Aminata's back next week. That is awesome. Priest said a better work. Yeah, and Priest knew how to work that title, and they knew how to book him properly. The biggest problem when it comes to well, Connor's just said, no, you ain't doing no high five crap. Like every title reign, like Orange Cassidy's title reign felt like one of the most important storylines in AEW for a good while there. I really need to talk to Tallis about this. Priest works well with the top guys. You need to put him on Raw rather than Smack. They just need to book better. Well, they're supposed to be having a draft. But when it comes to AEW here, like, yeah, you got Orange that, like I said, that position with Orange where he was consistently getting beaten down, then by the end of it, he just felt like after 33 title defenses, which they made a very big point of, they literally turned around and said, you know, I am so tired right now. Just, you got to do something to beat me. He wasn't going to lay down, but at the same time, you could tell that he was weak. But yeah, if we sat around trying to figure out all of AEW's or WWE's problems, we probably would do like a 42-hour marathon here. Am I answered? Absolutely not. I want both companies to do well. There's a difference between being anti-WWE and just not considering them a good product. You want something to do well, but you also, you know, I'm not going to hide the fact if your product sucks, I'm going to throw it out there for you. And we've done it here for AEW as well. There's been some shows that we look at it, we're like, what the hell's going on? Like, people were trying to praise the Darby Roosh match a couple weeks ago. Don't consider AEW the best wrestling product, but they do something. And that's where we're opposite of feelings. And when you're dealing with a sport that's multi-dimensional, like it's a performance sport, which means you're going to have different opinions and different ideas about what's good and what's bad. If everything was the same and everybody liked the same thing, it would get very freaking boring really quick. And I don't mind when my wrestling's a little off, a little grimy, a little bit like everything doesn't flow perfectly. Because then it feels like it's an actual fight. Like, I'm sorry, when you're in an actual fight, not every move hits properly. Like, honestly, you're not supposed to be in a position where you want to get hit. Just saying. But no, am I anti-WWE? Absolutely not. Like I said, I'm more wrestler than I am promotion. And that goes for any promotion. If you're a promotion that's doing good to your wrestlers and providing a product that gives a good entertainment value, I'm all for you. But let's take care of the wrestlers. Let's take care of the fans. We value our own timing, right? Now, here's the thing. You think they're changing over. You think Triple H is doing that. I want to see some change. Like, here's the thing. Promotions earn a certain level of goodwill when they're going through. And I think Zodiac's in the same point. WWE needs to get knocked down a peg or two. And I'm in that point. When it comes to WWE, I prefer that as much as you see that they're trying to change things up a little bit, I don't think they are really. They have new writers, so you're going to give them a little bit of grace period right now into figuring that out. But other than that, I honestly don't see enough of it, to be honest. I am so glad that Orange took 4 different ways there. But here's the thing, like, if we're talking a lot about AEW here and about things to succeed, we're watching Collision right now. So I don't mind talking about both, but I don't want to forget it ever here that, most of the people that are watching Collision like Collision. Most of the people that like Dynamite are watching Dynamite. And those that are hate watching a product are just fucking stupid. Because we do know that some people do hate watch stuff. Yeah, fair enough. That's why the talk is a little more centric towards AEW. Like, there's plenty of time we can talk about everything, right? You only watch Dynamite, though? Okay, fair enough. This is a little off day because, DLW, let me back it up here a little bit here. The only reason to hate watch is to make content. And I'm a terrible content maker for that. Because I don't get into hate content. I'm not JD from New York. I'm not a person who's going to watch and shit on a product all day because I have better things to do with my time. I'm 48. I'm 47 years old, going to be 48 here in about 5 months. I'm a full-time worker on top of streaming. I got a lot more important things to do. Yeah, and thank you for the sub there. We're getting close to 1,000, which is actually going to do a lot for us here. Oh, absolutely. Like, for me, and you're going to see it a lot when we do our Backbreaker Pro Wrestling here coming up. We just finished season 1, which is available on our gaming channel, Backbreaker_gaming. We just finished up our PLE, our one PLE on 295. I'm just working on getting everything put together for 26. So I book all the shows. I don't use Universe Mode. I use Exhibition. And I show you what wrestling can be. Use a lot of members of the community as part of the rosters, so. Oh, God, Finley just dominating right there. Then that spear. And that's exactly it. You watch wrestling like it should be a good play, a good movie. Like, let's face it, this isn't choreographed absolutely perfectly here. As I see a perfectly choreographed spot. With three Boston Crabs all at the same time. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. My God. Like, Roddy, if you don't know, is a former Ring of Honor World Champion and a hell of a performer. Like, that's a guy that if you give him a little bit to go with, he will do a lot. Like, that's one thing we'd like to, like, one of the biggest detriments to AEW in terms of what happened is the possibility that when Adam Cole broke his ankle at Grand Slam New York, trying to do that run out to help MJF, like the Devil storyline got all screwed up. Roddy's storyline got all screwed up. So we actually broke this down to a tag match now, finally. Love character work. I trained in theater, acting, performer arts in college. Nice. And yeah, there's a lot of character work that goes in, but... And it's also how do you see it too, right? God, there's shades of Luchadors beating Claudio in the C2. Just flashing through my head there. I wonder if Kevin Knight ends up getting the pin on this. If the Death Riders get it, maybe they get a trio shot finally. Tried to go for that flying armbar. We're almost done here, so let's start using the snoozes here. Oh no! Pff. Oh no! You're talking during a stream. That's all about talking. I don't know if that is a good thing. Sorry, I had to. No, I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate everybody here. Like I said, it's not about talking too much. It's like we're talking. Oh, there we go. He finally got it. So they're going to do the UFO splash on the wheel. Oh, this is perfect. And Wheeler eats the pin, technically. I think Claudio was tapping out, but technically Wheeler gets the pin. Or Wheeler gets pinned by Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight is just such a shooting star right now. Can you imagine the potential here? Like, you want to talk about somebody that, you know, you can hitch a wagon to and possibly do something with? Also love Bryan Danielson, WWE and AEW. Your generation's Bret Hart. I think that might be an insult to Danielson. I think he's a lot better than that. And yes, I am from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, which is 3 hours north of where Brad is. But no, like all in all tonight, like let's just sum things up here. We're going to wrap things up here momentarily. Normally we got a little bit of 2K stuff here, but I got some background stuff to do to set it up. So tonight's been a great night of AEW action here. We got the return of Hikaru Shida, which is probably the biggest talking point of the night. We got the Women's Championship match set up now with Jamie Hayter and Tekla for the pay-per-view. We also got Alex Windsor taking on Marina Shafir on the pre-show. We somehow didn't have the AEW Continental title on the line between Ospreay and Moxley, and now it is. I seriously need to go back and check that because I'm pretty sure it was already on the line, but I digress. Yeah. All in all tonight, like we got Andrade setting up for his championship spot. We got RPG Vice and Okada are probably going to be taking on the Rascals in a 6-man. But it's setting up for a little bit of insanity coming up at Edmonton next week. I am sorry that I'm not going to be here to watch it with all of you, but I'm going to be in the crowd. So it's going to be interesting. We could talk a little bit about next Saturday about my experience at the show during we're watching the show here. So yeah, I kind of figured you were going to go with Ospreay there, Patty. So Ospreay and Omega are in quite similar patterns on a lot of stuff, but we'll call it a truce here right now because we're gonna wrap things up here. But we're gonna wrap up here on the YouTube side here first. Once again, everybody, thank you for being here. Patty, thank you for the sub. Matt, thank you for the sub. And next time we're gonna be live over here on the YouTube side is going to be next Saturday for Collision. We're going to have a lot more stuff over on the Twitch side, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. But once again, everybody, thank you. Please make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Tell all your friends. And we'll see you all here next time on the Backbreaker video.